Gomoku is an abstract strategy board game, also called Gobang or 5 in a row. It is traditionally played with Go pieces on a Go board with 15 by 15 intersections. However, because once placed, pieces are not moved or removed from the board, Gomoku may also be played as a paper and pencil game. This game is known in several countries under different names. Black plays first if white did not just win, and players alternate in placing a stone of their color on an empty intersection. The winner is the first player to get an unbroken row of 5 stones horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Origin: it is said to have originated in China with the name Wuzichi. The name Gomoku is from the Japanese language, in which it is referred to as Gomoku Naraba. Go means 5, Moku is a counter word for pieces, and Naraba means line up. The game is also popular in Korea, where it is called Omok, which has the same structure and origin as the Japanese name. In the 19th century, the game was introduced to Britain, where it was known as Gobang, said to be a corruption of the Japanese word Goban, said to be adopted from Chinese Keipan, chessboard, variations and opening rules. Black was long known to have a big advantage. Even before L. Victor Alice proved that black could force a win, so a number of variations are played with extra rules that aim to reduce black's advantage. Standard Gomoku requires a row of exactly 5 stones for a win. Rows of 6 or more, called overlines, do not count. Freestyle Gomoku requires a row of 5 or more stones for a win. Cairo: in Cairo, the winner must have an unbroken row of 5 stones, and this row must not be blocked at both ends. This rule makes Gomoku more flexible and provides more power for white to defend. Omok is played the same as standard Gomoku, however, it is played on a 15x15 board and does not include the rule of 4 and 4. The overlines and 3 and 3 rules still apply. Other similar games' optional rules: the rule of 3 and 3 bans a move that simultaneously forms 2 open rows of 3 stones. The rule of 4 and 4 bans a move that simultaneously forms 2 rows of 4 stones. Alternatively, a handicap may be given such that after the first 3 and 3 play has been made, the opposing player may place 2 stones as their next turn. These stones must block an opponent's row of 3. Efforts to improve fairness by reducing first move advantage include the rule of swap, generalizable as swap, and characterizable as a partially compound and partially iterated version of the pi rule. One player places on the board X stones of the first moving color and a lesser number Y stones of the second moving color. The other player is entitled to choose between A, playing from the starting position, in which case the selecting player is also entitled to choose which color to play, and B, placing Z plus 1 more stones on the board at locations of that player's choice, in which case the former player is entitled to choose which color side to play. Specific variations: Renju is played on a 15x15 board, with the rules of 3 and 3, 4 and 4, and overlines applied to black only and with opening rules, some of which are following the swap pattern. Ninaki Renju or Wu is a variant which adds capturing to the game. It was published in the USA in a slightly simplified form under the name Penta. Theoretical generalizations. M.N.K. games are a generalization of Gomoku to a board with m times n intersections, and k in a row needed to win. Connect games are another generalization of Gomoku to a board with m times n intersections, k in a row needed to win, p stones for each player to place, and q stones for the first player to place for the first move only. Each player may play only at the lowest unoccupied place in a column. Connect is the most interesting one and is called Connect 6. The only fair opening rule currently is Swap 2, based on Swap from Renju and first seen on Koenig.org. The first player places 3 stones on the board. The second player has the choice to take black, white, or place 2 more stones to change the shape and let the first player choose color. This is essentially a slightly more elaborate pi rule. Analysis. Computer search by L. Victor Alice has shown that on a 15x15 board, black wins with perfect play. This applies regardless of whether overlines are considered as wins, but it assumes that the rule of 3 and 3 is not used. It seems very likely that black wins on larger boards too. In any size of a board, freestyle Gomoku is an M-N-K game, and it is known that the second player does not win. With perfect play, either the first player wins or the result is a draw. Generalized Gomoku is PSPACE complete. Example game. This game on the 15x15 board is adapted from the paper, Gomoku and Threat Space Search. The opening moves show clearly black's advantage. An open row of 3 has to be blocked immediately, or countered with a threat elsewhere on the board. If not blocked or countered, the open row of 3 will be extended to an open row of 4, which threatens to win in 2 ways. White has to block open rows of 3 at moves 10, 14, 16 and 20, but black only has to do so at move 9. Move 20 is a blunder for white. Black can now force a win against any defense by white, starting with move 21. There are 2 forcing sequences for black, depending on whether white 22 is played next to black 15 or black 21. The diagram on the right shows the first sequence. All the moves for white are forced. Such long forcing sequences are typical in Gomoku, and expert players can read out forcing sequences of 20 to 40 moves rapidly and accurately. The diagram on the right shows the second forcing sequence. This diagram shows why white 20 was a blunder. If it had been next to black 19, then black 31 would not be a threat, and so the forcing sequence would fail. World Championships. World Championships in Gomoku have occurred 2 times in 1989, 1991. Since 2009 the tournament resumed. The opening rule being played was changed and now is swapped too. List of the tournaments occurred in title holder as follows.